Ooh. Okay.
You know me, Dougie. I try to stay on top of things.
Yeah, we all do. You know, we all do.
Although sometimes things get on top of
Oh, tell me about it. Tell me about it. We can plan so much for life how we want to. You know, life have this way of saying that ain't what I had in mind.
yeah, hold
Okay.
up, hold up, hold up. Anyway, you gonna go.
Oh yeah.
So,
Okay.
you say the next one you say you wanted?
Oh yeah, just send both of them. One is the
I don't send the one.
one about the pesticides and the other one about the mitigation for businesses, disaster mitigation businesses. Anyhow, folks, it's been quite a week, and of course, you know, every day somebody is feeling the heartache. The broadcast industry, of course, you know that we lost a stalwart in the Virgin Islands community of broadcasting, Mr. Pemberton, and I want to send condolences to his family and all his friends, in particular to his family. And you know, sometimes life is so funny. Doing a random act of kindness, Jared. Talking about a random act of kindness. One day I was in Strawberry, and a young lady and her children in a driving a Toyota van, and they had a flat. Okay, so now, me now, I am not what do you call it, into stereotypes. That woman can't change a flat. No, I ain't into that. Because they have those out there that have better mechanic skills than me. I ain't not like that. But just in the nature of my upbringing and community and being helpful, I stopped and I helped them get out the spare, jack up the vehicle, get them to change the tire and so forth and so on. And along the way, her brother showed up. Okay, but I didn't know the girl per se. Okay, it's just my random act of kindness in this community. Well, turned out to be Mr. P's family. You know, I tell my son all the time. I say, you know, you gotta treat people how you want to be treated, and it's not about you. Sometimes you do things just for the sake of doing it, and you just never know how it'll come back around. Well, I would much rather be known, and I would hope that more of the community would rather to be known as just friendly, helpful people as we have generally been. Of course, we always have to be wary of those who are always there to receive but never have to give. That's why givers have to set limits because you know the reality is that takers have none. Okay, but yeah, it's small world how things work out. So my condolences to the family. All right, now. In terms of what's going on in our community, quite a few things. I'm going to touch on a couple of things, not to engage conversation directly, but last Thursday we talked quite a bit about public works with relations to Vitran Plus, and so forth and so on. And we had one caller that called in and left your information here. And then I received an email. I think I CC'd you on my response to that.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, it's supposedly.
Okay, good thing. And sometimes we have organizations that are to provide service, but they do a very poor job of educating the public on the availability of the service and some. It's almost like basically they got a job and that's it. They're not concerned about anything else. And so it's important. It's important. For instance, simple. I don't know. It's absent-mindedness, present-mindedness, whatever the case may be. Imagine now. Imagine, and I'm saying for you out there that have eyes to see in the context of literally eyes and you can see. Imagine if you didn't have that sight and you went to an organization to find out how to avail yourself of the services that they offer. And they hand you a paper form and tell you to fill it out in triplicate and bring it back. Man, you know, you can't see. Okay, but you manage to find your way there. Taxi, however, whatever. And they give you a form to fill out. Now, are they making the assumption that you have somebody to assist you in filling out the form?
I got one better.
And number one, and number two, the form in some ways is so cryptic and convoluted that if you had somebody to help you, they themselves might have been puzzled about how to fill out this form. And this is where we have to raise the bar, man. It has to be more than just a job. It has to be about providing service, meaningful service to the community. That's what the job is supposed to be. But anyhow,
But Doug,
I don't think I had the trump card, but Gerard said he got one better for me. So go ahead, Gerard.
okay, imagine you blind and they're sending you the form via PDF, via email.
No, see, no, you have no. You're getting too technical now. Okay, you're getting too technical.
They're sending it to me online.
Right, but my thing is now, you talking all these fancy, high tech thing about people. What the heck is a PDF, Gerald? Okay,
An
for
electronic document.
For our listening audience.
An electronic document.
Okay, all right, electronic document.
Okay, they're sending it to a blind man to fill out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now. I gonna be. No, I don't want to switch places with you. I ain't gonna be mischievous. I'm not gonna be. I'm not going to be like you. I'm not going to be mischievous.
What you doing now? Okay.
Yeah, I hear him and you threatening me.
Know how you walk with that one day.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyhow.
But imagine. So now I have to find a printer. Okay. To print this document and have someone assist me in filling out the document and then taking it to the doctor office to fill out.
Let me answer your question, Jared. Since you tell me be careful how I move. Okay. Have you ever received an electronic document that was fillable by you online?
No.
Okay. So has the technology in any way advanced so that it's possible for you to get a document that you can fill out online?
The thing is, the various websites or software, if you will.
You're getting technical. You didn't answer my question.
No, I'm going to. I have to answer it this way.
Okay, well, don't watch me like that. I see you looking to.
I have to answer it this way.
Stay over there. Okay, stay over there. Okay. I got YouTube. I got YouTube and Facebook.
YouTube.
So I got witnesses.
They can't save you. I know the
don't hurt me, Gerard.
I know to pull the plug.
Go ahead.
They won't see what happened. I'm gonna pull the plug.
Go ahead. Don't let me have to call Anna tell you, okay?
What you gonna do? I'm the big brother. She might be the big sister, but I'm the Tyler brother.
You stay there.
But anyway,
you go home and get it. Okay.
I don't live with her.
That's all right. She go to find you.
That's the other one problem. But anyway, Um, the various things like DocuSign and Adobe Acrobat and all these things that you would normally fill and sign or however it is not accessible.
Okay, they're not accessible.
They're not accessible to someone using a screen reader like myself and others who may be using maybe JAWS, or the short acronym is NVDA, which is non-visual desktop access on a Windows computer.
So then it's fair for me to say then, okay, fair, okay, for me to say that as a general proposition, a person who is visually impaired, as in, for all practical purposes, blind, okay, needs someone assistance to fill out application forms.
Basically, yes.
Okay. All right. So now, so the person may not have been being so bad to give you the form, but as I tell you folks, the form itself is so convoluted anyhow. And in that sense, you could miss important things like the email that I forwarded to you. if you don't have somebody to help you navigate through these forms. All right, so
Yeah, but in defense, the form, because I've had to deal with it.
This is for the record.
Yeah, on the record.
Public Works, Vitran Plus, you're being defended by Jerry.
No, I ain't defending nobody. I'm defending the way the form.
But they make up the form.
Yeah, but the way the form is made up, right? You have to put your name, your address, all that stuff, and your disability and directions to your house. Okay? And hold on. And half of the form you don't even need to fill out. It just, you have to put in that specific, I think, first 2 or 3 parts of the form, and then there's a section for the doctor. You take that to the doctor's office, and then you can also, they can also talk to you over the phone. You don't have to go on an in-person thing, like the woman said.
Suggested.
Yeah.
Her experience, understanding. Was.
Well, once a lady who is the ADA coordinator for Vitron give you a call, and she can interview you over the phone.
Okay.
The only in-person thing that they need to do is have the bus go out there to make sure the bus can deploy the ramp to get you onto the bus. Okay? Because that's the key thing. The bus needs to get there to your house, if you're a person in a wheelchair, to be able to deploy the ramp or the lift so that you can get up into the bus.
Okay. Well, I just want you to know, so I taking advantage of you. I don't grab my phone, okay, because I wanted to call the people at Vitran Plus and tell them to turn on the radio quick and listen, because Gerard is here, you know, advocating on their behalf.
So me advocating with nobody. I just clear the air of any misconceptions that people may have.
Okay. All
That
right.
sometimes people in word of mouth, information may change.
Yes.
And sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse.
Yes.
So I'm just clearing up, the way how it works, that people can know. And then the individual also said about their PCA not being able to ride on the bus. That is a myth.
Gerard.
Uh-huh.
You don't be talking all this blind people technology, acronyms and everything else. I want you to remember, you are talking to people out there who
Personal care attendant.
And what is a personal care attendant?
Someone that rides with you on the bus or
Right.
takes care of you. So you, as a blind individual, as someone who's wheelchair bound, may have a personal care attendant with you at all times when you travel the bus.
Right.
If you're able to maneuver yourself with the wheelchair, then you don't necessarily need to have a personal care attendant all the time. So when you're filling out that application, you could put that you may need the personal care attendant sometimes.
Okay.
So you could put it sometimes, or you could put it all the time, or you could put you don't need at all. But I always tell people, always click the sometimes box, because you never know when you're gonna need that assistance.
Yes, you never know. Okay. All right. There's a lot of things going on in the community. I want us to talk about some of those things really quick here. Yes. Let me see if I have this right here now.
You should have the tour.
Well, I got yours, but I got some others here that I want to also talk about. Okay, in the process.
Yes, people. A blind man can send and receive emails.
Mm-hmm. And text and all kind of.
And send text, receive text. You know, you remember the time we was at the handbell
The
choir?
handbell choir, yes, yes. And the person was so amazed, you know, so amazed. And I love it when they receive that type of epiphany. I love it because then they become in evangelists and, you know, or
Yeah,
whatever
because-
in that sense to spread the word.
Yeah, because I normally when I'm out, I have on my screen curtain,
Mm-hmm.
which is the screen curtain makes the screen with the phone black, so you can't see what's going on the phone.
Well, let me tell you a joke, right?
Uh-huh.
I have someone, I won't call their name,
Uh-huh.
but they were making narrow
Uh-huh.
because there was a blind person with their cane in the middle of the sidewalk and they had their phone up to their face, right?
Uh-huh.
And I believe that the person at where I saw it was intimating that the person was pretending to be blind.
Uh-huh.
Now, especially for those who lost their sight after being sighted.
Uh-huh.
As a general proposition, when you use a phone, you hold it up to your face.
Uh-huh.
And your hand knows, your body knows, you know where your hand is relative to your face.
Yes.
And then on top of that, when they see that the screen is black,
Uh-huh.
then they have a second reason there. They might have taken, they're pretending they're blind. Catch them. What they don't know, of course, is that you are communicating with your phone via your headset. And your phone is talking to you, telling you you're this icon, that icon.
Yes.
Press this to do that, to press that to do. They don't know that all of that going on.
No.
And so, you know, I am looking forward to the day when I meet that person.
Uh-huh.
Okay, because they're close enough to me that I feel I can talk to them. You know.
No, let me talk to them.
No. I ain't able with you. You might get carried away.
Let me talk to them.
and talk to a device other than headset. Then I have to call the coalition and you. Okay. All right. Anyhow,
I'll be the best person for the job.
Jared.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow.
Yeah, because I will show them how the phone works. I mean,
All right. Well, folks, let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the community.
mm-hmm.
You know, the Folklife Festival has kicked off on the 2nd and the 3rd. They were at the Wind Museum, and the 4th through the 8th, which is tomorrow, Friday, they're doing the school visits and school tours on St. Croix. And then on Friday, also there's a second event. There's going to be a Culture Bearers Recognition Awards banquet, and that's by invitation only. Then next week, and I got the flyers for that, they're having a night of bomba, bambula, and African dance on the 12th. And on the 14th, okay, at Fort Frederick, they're having Mokolution, the evolution of the Moko Jolie. And to crown it all off for this month on St. Croix, have a one quadrille dance at St. Jared's Hall on the 15th. Now, I said that crowns it all off for this month on St. Croix because on the 18th through the 22nd, they're going to be in St. Thomas doing the school tours. And then on the 22nd, in Fort Christian, they're going to be having the evolution of Quebec. And on the 23rd, on St. John, they're going to have culture in the park. Then between now and June, get back to June and the 29th, they're going to be having a panel on discussion on Virgin Islands history. And then of course July, cap it all off, we got the Folk Life Music Festival, which is going to be at the Vernon I. Richards Park in Frederickstead, and then you have the Quadrille Tramp and Quadrille Under the Stars, again, in Frederickstead. Okay, and that's just Folk Life Festival, that alone, you know, in terms of things going on. Okay. I want to remind you all that March 3rd through March 10th is Martial Arts Celebration Week. Okay, and it's hosted by Sansu Dojo in La Grande Princess. Yep, and Mr. Bell, Richard A. Bell, yes, the founder. Yes, and his memory is right. His picture is right there up front, and of course, for all of you martial arts folks, me, my martial art is my 2 feet. I see you coming like that. Oh Lordy me. And I tell you some people.
I know Kung Fu.
I know that. That's why I don't keep you at a distance. Okay? So I tell these young folks all the time, you see fight, you go the other direction. You know? All kind of things that's happening when you're just being nosy. Speaking of which, you know, it's always amazing in a sad way how you could be there minding your business and things happen to you. There was this explosion in a factory in the States, and like a mile away, a canister get blew out of that place and hit a teenager and killed him. Okay? I'm just saying.
A mile away?
Yes, an explosion. Fling a canister that fire, boom. It's just like bullet, when people shooting these bullets up in the air, will go up, gotta come down.
Yeah, I thought that was forces.
It could have been force, or it could have been just hit the right angle, the right place, boom, you know. Either which way, it's a sad thing. Teenager there has so much life to live, okay? So, Youth Art Month. On March 9th, from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Chant, okay, the Custom House Street here in Frederickstead. Right? And it's that time again, folks, the Youth Art Month in March. Yeah. So come on down and check out the artwork of our young people. All right, I want to remind you that a lot of these events I find on Facebook, some I don't, but on Facebook in particular you have STX happening, Wagwan, St. Croix, and what's going down Virgin Islands. Anyhow, it's there. Now, March 15th to the 24th, the Caribbean Community Theater is having Francine's Will, a play going on there, 15th to the 24th. Okay, so mark your calendars. Yeah, those of you who went to see Chicago, I saw smiles and laughter and all kind of good things. Right? Nobody had nothing negative to say. It was good. I mean, I said that I wasn't expecting anything negative. Is for somebody who does tell you make sure you bang your belly before you come. Is kind of laughing or be so raucous sometimes. And if you're accustomed to laugh like some of these post people thinking they don't come in here and keep a straight face, you know, I warn you up front, bang your belly because you will laugh. Okay? That's just the way it is. Alright. Now, let's see what else we got going on here. In March, yes, there's a writing workshop that's open to the public, and you have to register, and it's about how to get your book published, folks. Okay, and I see information here about St. Thomas, St. John, and St. Croix, and definitely we want to encourage people in their literary endeavors. Okay, it's sponsored by Heavy Materials, Community Foundation of Virgin Islands, and yep, we got 3 different dates here. March 23rd on St. Thomas, from 10 to noon, and then on St. John from 3 to 5 in the p.m. And then we jump in the boom into April 13th for St. Croix. St. Croix is going to be at UEI Great Hall in particular. But hey, you can find these things online, just like I do. Okay. All right. But before we get all the way into April, something going on this month. Wait. What you forgetting now? March, how many special significance there are?
Not really. Not for me.
You sure?
Well, I mean, my son make birthday this month, but
I thought that this was some kind of appreciation thing going on.
for who?
Some awareness thing going on.
Disability awareness?
That's it! That's it!
Yeah, there's a disability awareness.
That's it!
Yeah.
And you ain't know?
Ain't nothing going on. You know that? I mean, we have.
No. I think you wrong. You guys have nothing going on. It's going on all the time.
Going on all the
It's
time.
going on all the time, Gerard.
So if we're going on all the time, why people don't forget we?
You saw Gerard, it's going on all the time. Look,
Okay.
yesterday I driving down Company Street
Uh-huh.
and I watching the sidewalk the whole way going down, Gerard.
Uh-huh.
And I watching this corner. I see the base, the bill for the light. So the wheelchair can't go up on the sidewalk.
Uh-huh.
Okay? I see the next place, the base for the light. So the wheelchair can't come off the sidewalk to come back onto the sidewalk.
Uh-huh.
And the next place that ain't got no ramp to get up on the side. And I'm watching these things go down and I say, whose idea was it? Okay? And I want to know, folks. I really do want to know. So, folks on St. Croix, folks in Christiansted in particular, Christiansted Community Alliance and the Restaurant and Retail Association, and what's the next big one? The for all the businesses on St. Croix, the Chamber.
Uh-huh.
Okay? If any of you know, please tell me who came up with this idea of putting up these street lights and building the bases on the sidewalk. I mean, because we really want to know. This is just outward hostility to anybody who have a wheelchair or need a sidewalk. You know, who prefers not to be walking in the road. I really want to know whose idea was, because think about it now. They had to get permits to do this.
Yeah.
Not only get permits, but they actually carve up the road and sidewalk to put down the electrical cable to hook up to these things.
I want you to find out. Please send them to me.
No, I ain't want you to go to jail.
I ain't going to jail.
You ain't going to jail? That's what I was saying, though. Where it's like road rage. The calmest of people, the calmest of people And then they get that trigger, okay? I ain't able for you to get triggered, Gerard. I will not set you up like that, okay?
I don't get triggered. You know what my doctor told
Gerard?
me? You know what my doctor told me?
Gerard.
Hold on. You know
Gerard.
what my doctor told me? She said, "But for somebody who have diabetes, why your blood pressure so low?" She said, that's unbelievable. She said, but I said, I don't get upset. She said, what? I said, I don't get upset. She said, really? I said, no, I don't take care of my problems cool and calm.
I am not going to out you, Gerard.
Don't mind when you see I might raise my voice. I still not upset.
You see, take the high road down. Take the high road.
If I get upset, if I do get upset, you will know because there will be destruction.
Alright. Well.
So I don't get upset.
Okay.
So.
Alright. Taking your word for it.
I can deal with it cool and calm. Just like I haven't been able to put the right words together to form, to start forming this letter I want to write out these senators about these raises for my track.
Yes, well that's another topic that we need to set a date to sit down and brainstorm that. Okay, among other things. So we've been talking about some things here. We do need to get together and brainstorm. What is thing doing my phone about me, Gerard Evelyn? I don't meet you all the time. We there in the station now. But anyhow.
Me, Gerard Evelyn. What are you watching there?
They didn't tell you what they do with you. Anyhow.
No, they didn't tell me. What
They didn't tell you?
Send me some soup.
We'll come back to that. Okay?
I'll give 5%.
There is training that goes on for persons that do pest control for the applications of pesticides, etc., etc., etc. You know about that, Gerard?
Yeah.
What do you know about that?
I know what you gotta go to the college, take a class. I think what's coming up now is I think the recertification class.
Recertification class.
Yeah. So you gotta go there, take the class, take a test, and take your results down to DPNR to get your what you call your certification number and ID.
Okay. Well, and that's simply because pesticides are dangerous.
Yes.
And that nobody should just go out and call themselves a pesticides application person.
But people do. People do. You might be surprised. A lot of guys working in the industry that don't have the certification.
Well, and that's why we're having this discussion, because folks in the community need to be aware of this. And I say that we had that case
in St. John?
In St. John, where those people were grievously harmed.
Yes.
Okay, because of that, not adhering to proper.
And me knowing a little bit about the case, the product that was used, methyl bromide, that the supervisor was the only one certified in using this product.
Right.
The applicator himself was not certified in using this product. The reason why the applicator was not certified in using the product, you had to travel to Florida to be certified in using this product.
Well, you know, this is whether it's private sector or the public sector. I know in working for the government, very often the people who need to be certified, they will bring the person down here before they will send people up. Okay? Because only the big wig them supposed to get to travel. Okay?
Well, I used to travel. My bosses would send me to.
Well, yeah. Well,
Pest World.
you were in that environment where that type of professionalism prevailed, and thank goodness for that. Okay, so anyhow, we're talking about pesticides, and the reason being is that they're putting out the last call for signing up for recertification. Make sure your license doesn't expire. Yeah, and it's training to be held on Thursday, March 7th, starting promptly at 8:30 p.m. Okay, and the information for this is available online, and because they have a link here to the UVI, and in particular, the contact person is a Dr. Amy Dreves. Dreves, or Dreves, however you pronounce it. I don't want to mash up nobody's name, but
You should hear the phone and mash it up. You should hear how my phone and mash up their name.
Oh yes.
It's a shame.
And yes, so for the pesticide safety and pest management training, you can reach Amy at 340-692-4052, okay, and also by email at amy.dreves@uvi.edu. Definitely, if you are one of those persons that need to be certified, please do your duty and make sure that you get certified accordingly.
And I'll add that it'll open doors for you, might even increase your pay.
That's always a plus.
You know,
Okay.
because if you're not certified, you can't call for what you want. Once you're certified and you know that you are, then you could demand your pay.
Okay. All right. Now, I'm looking at a flyer here, and it's about eCPR. Now, when I hear CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, the E, which is a small e before that, is for emotional. And so I say that because a lot of people out there will say, what happened? No. I am saying that not to be funny, okay? Because if you don't know, that's a natural response, I believe. What is it? And then hopefully the next step would be the natural thing also, which is to find out. So I'm going to read from the flyer. It says, learn to deepen your listening and empathy skills. Practice presence and create a sense of safety for those experiencing a crisis. Okay? Emotional CPR, as in eCPR, is a public health education program designed to teach how to assist others through an emotional crisis by 3 simple steps. 1, the C is for connecting, and the P is empowering, and the R is in revitalizing. Okay, so now you see now, down the cardiopulmonary resuscitation route, but I know something was up. Okay, I mean, yes, emotionally I could touch your heart, possibly. Okay, but when I was reading this out the first time, I thought about it and I said, you know, some of this applies to customer service. You know, sometimes when you come into WAPA, you're in crisis and get that $5,000 bill, and it just all the neurons firing, and you just can't understand how this going on. And you have people there trying to tell you yes because you got a bill and say that you must owe it. Okay, and I say that, folks, not being funny, being real, because I had an experience where I was told I had not paid a bill, and my, and so forth and so on. Come to find out, in their practice, they had sent a batch of transactions over to St. Thomas to be processed, and they did not process my payment. A credit card payment at that. Okay? Because first they tell me, well, probably you write a bill, a check, I got somebody on line one, and the check bounce. And I'm saying, check bounce. I see me here, I run look for my checkbook going through. I ain't gonna check it for what? I said, but I usually don't pay my check. So I gone and I found my bank statement and went down, and there it was, at $92 and change, right?
Yeah, check. On the bill.
Right, on the bill showing on the credit card transaction. Okay? So I went and I took my thing and I redacted out all my personal information and all the other transactions. I took them a copy of it. That's what I had to do. Because they were ready to bring on the axe for what they had failed to do. Anyhow, emotional CPR, folks. Emotional CPR. 3 important steps: connecting, empowering, and revitalizing. So Wednesday, March 13th, and Thursday, March 14th, this free training is going to be going on. Now, at the top of this poster, I see the Governor Warner Hospital Medical Center, and to the right of that, I see Peer Experience National TA Center. Okay? So now, it's from 8:30 to 5 p.m. at the VI Cardiac Center Conference Room, the Governor Juan F. Louis Hospital and Medical Center. Okay. Now, if you want more information, you can contact Veloria Swanston at 340-778, forgive me, 340-778-6311. And you can ask for that person if you could get the operator, but if not, their extension is 5337. Okay, we got a call. Good morning.
Facebook has no sound. Good morning,
yes, good morning, WSTX.
Good morning, Douglas. Good morning, Gerard.
Hey.
Good morning, listeners to 970
Good morning, Mr. Grant.
How we doing? We doing great, especially when you call with serious things, and we got serious time to allocate to serious things.
Okay, well, let's start off with definition. Could you define fraudulent?
Oh, Lordy me. Let's just say a representation that's not true. Let's start with that, okay? I am authorized to write this check, and I am not, or I am authorized to take this money, and I am not, or I am representing to you that the brown water is safe to drink. Anyhow, with that I done. I know you're wrong with it.
I got answer with one road, Trump.
Well, I'm glad you want to deal with water and water. So you would say committing fraud is that a crime?
That's what they say.
Okay, good. So, seeing that, I just got an email that the PSC, so I think that this tool is going to be having a hearing, and the agenda is going to be discussing the same water. So, the reason I asked that question, and I started off by asking the definition, because it seems like people don't understand definitions anymore. I asked Helen Fleming, who's the energy director and the chairman of the Waffle Government Board, last August, after the executive branch subsidy for the $4 million a month ended up giving it to the Waffle. Waffle went to the Public Service Commission and asked for an increase in the REACT and the water say. Now, for people who don't know what the REACT is, the REACT stands for the acronym for Level Energy Adjustment Clause, which in actuality is a surcharge, meaning that it's a tax. So, if it's a tax, just like on the electrical side, it's used to recoup the cost of fuel for when water purchases diesel, and LPG. Those are the two fuels we use to create electricity. So when I asked him, well, could you tell me what is the fuel seeing that you just asked for and received from the Public Service Commission a rate increase at the LEAC and the water? Could you tell me what is the specific fuel used to produce the water in the reverse osmosis process? He paused for a while and then said, it takes a megawatt. Well, listen, a megawatt is not a fuel. It's a unit of measurement to electricity. A kilowatt is 1,000, a megawatt is 1,000,000. So, what he actually said without saying it is that to produce water, it takes electricity. Everything is run on electricity. So if you already have a LEAC associated with the electrical side, then how are you going to have one on fuel, on water, when there's no fuel in that process? It's out of electricity. Would that be considered fraudulent?
Well, as a layperson, I would say yes. As a layperson, from a layperson perspective, because you're making a representation, okay? And in other words, it's like they're playing a trick.
They double dipping.
You know, it's like a trick. And this is why I tell Gerard to be careful when you start talking all of these acronyms and this and that and so forth. You know, you gotta break it down, and I like how you break it down. The fact of the matter is, the fuel to produce that electricity is already accounted for in the LEAC. You know, it's already there. So, you know, Devon, the challenge I find with these things is like, if the government slap you and you walk back up to them and tell them slap me again, I can't help you. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when they say, if you see something, say something, right? So I saw that, and I called the Inspector General office and I told him about this. Isn't their job now to investigate this allegation to see if what I'm alleging is true or not?
I would think so, because should the time come, I'm gonna tell you what I say.
Do we have an IG?
No, but whether we have one or don't have one, I think that is not really where our power lies. Okay? Because of anywhere from politics to short staff, that's not really where our power lies. Tomorrow, if somebody wants to institute a class action suit against WAPA on that issue, I would be happy to be a person who signs on. The challenge is, who else in the community would sign on? And this is something I want to touch on, right? For some reason, a lot of people in the Virginians afraid to sue. And true, anybody could sue, that don't mean they're gonna win. Right? And I say this because whether it's this type of situation, or as I have seen in government with certain things like sexual harassment, this is how they'll get away with things, because the person, the victim, don't come forward. And whether it's sexual harassment or misrepresentation of fuel burning, the victim have to come forward. And if the institution that is supposed to represent the victim otherwise is failing, the victim have to come forward. Without the victim coming forward, and this is why I gotta do a wellness check on Coach for. I can't hear in no place and so forth and so on. I don't want him to be despondent and depressed because no. But listen to what I'm saying, right? Yeah, I hear you. I don't want him to be despondent and depressed or whatever, because he's been trying to get people to rise up and look out for their own interests, and it seems somehow that it's not happening. That's why I would have to do it myself. But anyhow, so much for a little nar in there, okay? But this is an ongoing issue. The people in government are counting on us, the constituents, to grumble and complain among ourselves but not do anything of substance about the things that bother us.
Well, just like you said, you know, that actions. Well, if my claim has merit and is not frivolous, I would think that I would have legal standing to move forward with my claim. Just like, is it legal or lawful to get my monthly invoice for my electrical bill if the meter is not functioning?
Yeah, I hear you, but again,
And how is that enforced that you could cut life services out of a destination?
yeah, but again, we come back to the core problem. On a one-on-one,
problem is, Dougie, and that we're going to have,
no problem.
we don't have representation. Where is your representative that you vote for every 2 years? Come to the office, we get Democratic primary, come to the general election.
Well, let me ask you this, okay? Your deduction about the LIAC, do you think maybe you have representatives that don't even really understand the concept and the math involved?
Well, let me say this. In both districts, they are assigned to a senator that's supposed to go to the PSC. In the St. Croix district is Maurice James. In the St. Thomas district is Carla Hilda. Last year, when they had this hearing at the PSC, where the PSC gave Roberts' increase on the water thing, Carla Joseph, instead of being at the PSC, when they did roll call, Senator Carla Joseph absent, I told him to scream at the legislature where they was having a financial committee hearing chaired by Dr. Fred Gregory. Carla Joseph is not even a member. She's there, she was, instead of being talking about at the PSC. So, how can you say you going to be, oh, I represented you, I represented your best interest. When the people's best interest was if you are assigned to this, you're moving to go out there and to stand up for the people because maybe I am being played on account of the meeting, maybe I have a job to do, I work on account of the meeting, that's where you elect you as a representative and not for you to just say, well, you know, I'm gonna take it on my own to do what I want, what I please.
Okay.
And not do the people's work.
Could I spin it a different way for you?
Sure.
Okay, I'll spin it a different way for you, right? Because them same representatives have an interest to look out for, even if it's their own. Okay? And if you can persuade the people of the Virgin Islands that a senator is allowing the grocery store to charge you twice for the same can of milk, okay? And you could say who was supposed to say no, you can't do that, ain't doing it. And that person also have to come back now and ask for a vote. The general thing is that the average person don't know and understand that WAPA charge you twice for the same kind of milk. You follow, and I'm breaking it down that simple because once, whether it's Carla Joseph or Senator Maurice James, okay, once they understand that basic math, I can tell you that they gonna want to know how they missed that meeting number one and how that one slipped by them and how they could come back now in the background to do something about it because this is too daggone embarrassing that I would be credited with allowing the grocery store to charge you twice for the same can of milk.
Mr. Douglas Cantor had offered my services as a consultant to both senators. So just like how I am here with you, Gerard, and the listeners to the 970 AM, I was going to broke it down so that the layman could understand what we're here having this discourse about. Then they refused my services. If I was a farmer employee there for 13 years as an operator, would I not have intimate working knowledge of the utility?
I hear you, but
just like when they don't understand certain business principles, don't they bring in consultants?
but I hear you, but you see, a man have a prophet had no honor in his own country. Okay, I think you need to go and find somebody in Idaho and bring them down here to tell them these things.
Just like the Caucasian that escaped the mental institution, came to the morning, and issues that have been given where the Attorney General office was hired as an assistant Attorney General prosecuting people until they found out he was escaping from a mental institute and had to dismiss all the cases.
Brother, no matter how you spin it to reveal it, it really comes back to the community saying how you could allow them to charge us twice for the same can of milk. When the community start asking that question, your representatives will be responsive. Until that time, they thinking that it ain't really that important. It really don't matter. Now, Devon, people who are pain in the butt, okay, in terms of, and the pain is because you're bringing to light things. Oh God, I got to go deal with that now, and so is my friend, and so. But let me see if we can work out some kind of. It's a stupidness that's going on in this place. The fact of the matter is one can of milk, they charge you twice for the same can of milk. It did it on paper. Can one 70 cents. Can one 70 cents. And you only got one can in your basket. So how can one show up twice on the receipt? I like to break it down to be just that simple. Okay? People of St. Croix, people of the Virgin Islands, it is that simple. But I gonna tell you, right? We don't get credit for all the things that we just invent and discover. Because we either invented or discovered a very special flora, plant, whatever they would call it in the world. It's called stupid bush. Right? They call it stupid bush. And it's and I don't know that we have a factory here, or if the pharmaceuticals or Russia discover it and they're manufacturing it and slipping it into all the beer and milk and soda and so forth and so on, that people here to consume, not just here in the Virgin Islands, I mean in the US, because I watch what's going on, and this ain't about Democrat, Republican, and all this other stuff. The stupidity that the average man looking the other way for. If somebody tell you they're going to cut Social Security, believe them. You're going to wait until they do it? Yeah. And say, oh God, how they could do that? They don't do it. And so here we are, looking at something as simple as they charge you once for the same can. By the time you put it in your basket, they don't charge you a second time, and they give you a paper documenting it. And you going home go grumble about it.
Yeah, because they bring in the stupid bush with a little bit of donkey milk with some dumb bread. So what do you expect? What do you respect, Dougie.
Jared, I see you've been losing weight. So you were there at the table and you refused to eat.
I ain't
Hey,
eating.
Dougie, let me ask you a question, and then, let me wrap up with this so I could give somebody this opportunity. They might be listening. I want to ask some questions.
Okay.
How do we go about vetting our candidates to make sure that they want to be in there for service and not self?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, right?
The thing
The
is,
the community once upon a time used to do a job. Sometimes good, sometimes not as good as necessary. But all the mechanisms for doing that seem to have become defunct. There was no succession planning or whatever, so there's nobody at the helm, and the ship is on the reef. All right, because when first of all, nothing happens until just before election. Okay, and the League of Women Voters don't exist for almost 700 days, and until it's before an election, and sometimes they only exist for when you have a gubernatorial election, and that's not to knock them. That's just dealing with the fact that you don't hear anything from the League of Women Voters until before an election or every other election. And I would ask them, beg them, plead them to challenge me on that and bring out the facts. All right? Now, I don't want to pick on them because once upon a time we had other organizations, some of them objective and some of them not, whether it was Generation back then and whoever else, okay, that used to do some type of credible job of rating performance of elected officials. But what happened? Everybody get a job, everybody get comfy, and they done with that. They need no community work. They got enough community work to do. So I am saying that all of the mechanisms and institutions that we had all the way down to community activism when it comes to vetting people who run for office. The bottom line is, I know your mother, I know your father, and when I run, I benefited from some of that too. But I looked at it in the objective way of the people who they know had credible reputations, and the people know how they brought up the child and everything else and so forth and so on. But even at that, there were other objective means by which to test. But I am saying this, I've watched how all of these things have basically shut down. But the challenge is, how do we get from where I can point these things out to something moving in to replace these institutions and doing what it is we need to get done? Because otherwise, we're just agreeing to agree that there's no vetting going on.
Well, I would second that motion because you just laid it out that anyone could understand it, and as we are pointing out these problems, we just need to find a way to solve them.
Yes.
Maybe one of the things we need in politics, because you ain't gonna go to a doctor who don't have who don't have a medical degree. So why would you allow somebody who don't? I mean, they don't even say, well, you have to have a political science degree to do this job. Every other job, you look in the newspaper. If you want a job as an engineer, don't you have to have an engineering degree
And a license.
yeah.
So to be a politician, would you need to have a political science degree?
Well,
Even if it's just an associate degree?
I wouldn't even say political science. The thing is, if you could get a resume, start with a resume, something that you can use to objectively assess a person's history in the community, a person's history educationally, and I say educationally, the fact of the matter is, somebody coming to you with a piece of paper don't mean that they got common sense. Okay? That's just the reality. I mean, we had folks that were put in office because they were asked a question and they could pull up a little piece of paper and read off the paper, okay, and they got elected. I mean, if give the young girl a chance, give the young boy a chance is a criteria. For instance, that's another criteria.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying these things to make. These are real.
But you forget common sense ain't so common.
I ain't forget.
Okay.
That was the whole point. That was the whole point. But I'm just saying that we
common sense ain't covered the movie, sir.
right. But come back to WAPA, right? You know how they're trying to make the criteria for being on the board more education and education and specialization related.
Yes.
But that's no guarantee in that sense, because you could have a chemist that's incompetent. Okay?
Yeah. I was a competent candidate.
Well, Douglas, that's why you don't have just one member on the board. You have other people's
Right.
certifications. If you have somebody that's incompetent,
Right, but what I'm saying,
they're not the only ones making all of these decisions and determinations.
Right.
Because if you're doing something that is adverse to what we need to get done, then we have a vote.
Devon, we're on the same sheet of music. What I'm saying is that when a legislature is going to put forward these things as almost as a panacea, if you understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the issue that I have with it. That's the issue. Okay, it's just like you're gonna take someone who'd have fixed tire and put them in charge of what, Gerard?
The mechanic.
Okay. No
somebody
formal
with a
training as a
tire,
mechanic,
put them in charge
but
of
you
the
put them in
mechanical
charge
job.
of an organization where the vehicles seem to be perpetually broken. I mean, isn't there a relationship there between?
The master tire man, you know. The boss had a problem. The boss had a problem with the tire, and he went out and he fixed it. Good tire man. But when it comes to the mechanical working of the vehicle, just listen to the buses as they pass, and you could tell his qualifications.
Okay, now, and I'm just saying that it's one thing to say that a person don't have a certain degree, but that person could have more sense than people that have a degree. Okay,
Yeah.
and so we have to be very careful, because what's happening is that the legislature trying to take the heat off of themselves to say we do something.
And let me tell you, before you go, I'm a mechanic, but I'm not a diesel mechanic. Okay? So, I won't be able to fix a diesel engine. I could fix a regular engine. Any gas engine I could fix. But when it comes to diesel engine, I know a little bit of it, but I wouldn't say I'm a diesel mechanic. So I won't go mess with that. And these buses are diesel engines. So you need to have that specialty.
Yeah, well, you're right, Gerard. And if I had a say, Gerard, I put you in charge of the disability portion in the executive branch, because you have been an advocate, and these people don't, when you look at what they do for people with disabilities, it's a disgrace.
Well,
They don't
let me
adhere to the American Disability Act.
Wait.
How do we get that enforced? I mean, things like that.
Devon,
I would, yeah.
don't do that to him.
They wouldn't want me there. I'm too much of a straight shooter.
Don't. You see, one of the things, Devon, and I say this, when I first came to WAPA as an attorney, in training and in the position in joining the HR, I met a case that was going on, okay, where WAPA had terminated somebody just because they could. But all the facts said that WAPA was going to find itself in a hell of a mess if the legal counsel did not recognize all the infirmities of the case. All right? So I pointed out the infirmities of the case, and the legal counsel took note of it and everything else, and resolved the case that should never have been. And somebody said to me that you're gonna have to answer to that, because then Bruno Vega was in charge, and they have to have their head. Meaning their sacrifice. That was a time when they used to hurt people for the sake of hurting them, and said, let them fight it back and get back the job, but we're gonna do this to them. Okay? All right? And I'm saying that obliviousness that I had, courage or whatever, whoever might look at it, because everybody else was afraid. Okay? And so we have institutions that are skewed against the people that they're supposed to serve, and against the servants that they have working for them who are there to do a good job, because the person supervisor came and stood up for them also, because pretty much they hadn't done something wrong, and definitely not something to be terminated over. So they turned around then and they went after the supervisor. Okay? And I could tell you, I see that happen to a director, where they turned around and went after the director. It just so happened the director didn't need them. He said, bye. I stay there with that stupidness. I've been here long enough. Okay? I'm just saying to you that we have institutions here that have forgotten or have become so entrenched in their fiefdom that the fact that they're there to provide a service has been long forgotten.
Yeah, so if I do my job, the governor will fire me.
Well, that would be if he like you. Okay? If he like you, he'll fire you, Gerard. Okay? Because he knows that if you stay there in a job trying to do the right thing and everything else, and they're thwarting every step that you take to do that, we don't have good mental health care here in the Virginia. And they don't want to push you over the edge. Okay?
Well,
so he would like you and fire you.
Hey, Dougie, how can you perform your duties with that hanging over your head?
But Jared, Devin, this is the part of the plan that we're facing. Okay? And this is the thing now, in too often you hear people going after the governor. And the governor got lieutenants. And some of them thin skin, and some of them very personal, and some of them like they own the division. It ain't a government entity. It's their own.
It's a public.
Okay.
They keep forgetting that the government is
know
public.
people who walking wrong on like they walking on broken glass and trying not to get caught, because they working for people who, as far as they can, love to have a reputation of trying to eliminate people. Okay.
I just remember something. Let me
Anyhow.
just turn the page quick.
Yeah, quick, and yeah, can we kind of got carried away here.
The last time I spoke to you, I was telling you about these benefits for Medicare recipients that just started in January. I called the Lieutenant Governor's Office Division, Banking and Insurance, and the lady that's in charge, some Miss Penny, I had left a message for her for the last 2 weeks, and still haven't gotten a response. What I did was I followed up on it, because some people were saying that, these benefits are only for people who reside stateside.
Yes.
No, it is for recipients, whether you live in the territory or you live in the state. So that these, where you can, as a Medicare recipient, if you're receiving less than $1,700 a month, you get where the monies could be used for to buy groceries, to pay utilities, or to pay rent. And these are three big household items that, if you're on a fixed income in the Virgin Islands, that these things will be a benefit to you. Who can use money to help pay the WAPA bills? Who can use money to go buy groceries? Who can use money to help with their monthly rent?
Do me a favor. CantonVI@mac.com. Send me the information so I can become educated on it at least to your level. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm saying that because the bottom line is,
Yeah.
I don't think the Virgin Islands is like Alabama where they turning away money. I don't think it's like
Oh, yes.
like you think so?
Yes.
We turning away money?
Long time.
Oh my goodness, Doug, you so misinformed, Doug. Oh Lord, who been feeding me all this fake news all this time? Anyhow,
By the time they look into to send for the money, they do something
hello,
wrong and the money gotta go back.
hello. You know that Vichan have ferries?
Yes.
How long?
Long time.
That's
Long
where we're
time.
going between St. Thomas and St. Croix?
St.
Not
John.
St. Thomas and
No.
St. John.
St. John.
No, it's going between St. Thomas and St. John.
Right. And
And it's about...
But they don't need ferry service between St. Thomas and St. Croix?
no. Not.
and it's more than one.
But yes, I'm just saying that it's some serious money. Caden Ferry is a serious investment, right? So it's just, the reality is that the kind of accounting that we the people want, they will never give we that. They will always give this convoluted stuff like what they give to the legislature and you can't figure it out. It's just like when they write a bill, you never have a bill summary that just tell you plain English language what this bill does. They don't want you to know.
The federal government need to come down and do a forensic audit for Vitran.
I hear you, but they need to do
Yeah.
it. Gerard.
Yeah.
Forensic audit is what we don't like. That's why we had to go and get a special purpose vehicle to flow these bonds, and we could use the PFA because the last forensic audit coming out of the Department of Interior Insular Affairs Office in 2017 showed that $151 million is still unaccounted for. The reason why WAPA is having all these problems, why Fitch downgraded them, they don't want to do an audit. Let me end on this because we could go audit. The last time WAPA was supposed to do an audit here on St. Thomas more specifically.
Yeah, they want to place down.
Remember, but I was walking there. You know what they told us employees?
What?
A derelict was able to get through a 2-inch metal gate, right? This is with a 5-pound lock on it. Yeah, now after you got through that, there's a glass door behind that. Once you get in there, you still have to go through 1, 2, 3 more doors. The person ended up getting on the second floor, and they said the causation of the fire was the person left a woman had called a plug-in. If I hungry and I was able to get through all of that, I ain't gonna go in the cafeteria where we have the co-workers have a fridge and look to see if somebody leaves some food in the fridge. Why can do plugging in a hot iron?
Yeah, well,
that was the excuse they gave us, just like the $2 million that they said went out, and sources tell me it was $4.8 million. Have we recovered that money yet?
No. But Devon.
Yes.
They think we are Republicans. You remember somebody say Republicans are stupid? They believe anything they tell them?
And on that note,
Hey, thanks for starting off about it. So y'all have a blessed one, son.
okay, all right,
You do
good
that.
thing, and don't forget.
I'm gonna get the information for you, Doug.
Okay, good thing. All right, thank you so much.
CantonVI@mac.com.
Wait, say that again?
CantonVI, CANTONVI @mac.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
At what.com?
Mac, MAC.
MAC.
Oh, okay. Got you.
All right.
CantonVI at mac.com.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all have a blessed one.
You do
You do
too.
the same.
All right, good thing. Yes, folks. It's
And if you
So,
want to get in on the conversation, what's the number, Doc?
let me see. 340 still? We still is in the Virgin Islands?
Well,
340?
somebody try and change that, but they got
Who, Liberty?
yeah, they get it under wraps.
Okay.
As far as when I said I hear they say they own the rights to the 340. I say, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, 340 773 0390. I got another one. What's the other one?
7730490.
Okay, all right, good thing. We got both bases covered. But, Gerard, you think maybe for Devon we did our random act of kindness this morning?
Yeah, I think we got a random act.
We sent you off packing with a
Yeah,
good
yeah,
random
yeah,
act of
yeah,
kindness. Oh, Lordy be. Folks, I say this and I never get tired of saying it. Oh, Lordy be. They know that. That's your weakness, dog. That's your disability, dog. Okay, you never get tired of talking, right? But seriously, do a random act of kindness.
You know when you say
And-
that line,
Mhm.
that note, you put me in mind of Top Gear.
Top Gear.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So do a random act of kindness, folks. You just never know. The world, as much as sometimes we can get caught up into thinking that it rotates around us, the fact of the matter is it doesn't. Do a random act of kindness. And if you're feeling kind of bored, please, folks, do some premeditated acts of kindness. You won't be brought before Congress or what's it, the VI legislature. Oh, Lord. All right. Good thing, good thing. But, Gerard,
Yes, sir.
we getting charged for the same can of milk twice.
Yeah.
Getting charged twice of milk. Gerard, why you tell him it was okay to do that?
I never tell him it was okay to do that.
Somebody had to tell him.
Well,
Okay.
Not like somebody tell right then it was okay to raise the 500
Okay.
fees to $5.
Well, let's talk about that for a quick minute now. Let's talk about that for a quick minute because we had our conversation last week, Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about Vitran and the transportation and everything else, and we got some very interesting feedback in terms of the calls and the connections that we're making, which is important because persons with a disability and their family and supporters have to understand that it's by banding together that they're going to get this place to be more responsive.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's just like I need you to come and walk down Company Street with me. Okay, because it's more effective when when you have Cassandra here to do the wheelchair part, but it's more effective when people could see the persons with disability next to the impediments that we have deliberately put in place. In fact, no, it's still government property. I ain't able. You might win the case, but I don't want to get tied up in that. Okay. Let me put out a call here to the public. Okay. I either need the use of a wheelchair, okay, or someone in a wheelchair who has either someone to assist them or some stamina to accompany me on Company Street and is willing to be documented at these various obstacles, okay?
I know where we could find a wheelchair and you could push me in it.
No, I try. No. You see, no, don't even go there. Don't even go there. You looking for right?
But if in case you can't find one, I know where we
No. But yeah, I'm just saying, even if it's just an empty wheelchair to show what it is we're dealing with,
Mm-hmm.
I would much prefer to have someone who actually relies upon the wheelchair for getting around, and who could see themselves coming in town trying to go to a restaurant
Well,
and can't get up on the sidewalk
I know
because of
somebody
the.
who use one, but she blind. So you still won't get push her.
Yeah. Okay. The bottom line is we want to document the problem because somebody should have put a sledgehammer to them thing a long time ago. Okay.
I like to be the one.
I ain't so comfortable with you swinging a sledgehammer in your
Trust me, I will hit the mark. I will
You
hit
think
the
so?
mark every time.
Okay.
I know the aim.
My toe small, but you might aim right.
No, you just move all the way.
All right. Okay.
You just move all the way. As long as you all the way, the course is clear, I know how to swim.
Yeah. Anyhow,
I'm very handy. You know.
I'm sure.
Look, my friend get on the bus the other day, and she said, "Oh gosh," she backstrap bus, and she wondered like how the bus, and she did fumbling with it. I said, "Let me see it." It was one of them backstrap that have like a little chain on it. So when I feel the one end, I noticed the two piece separate, and the other hook part slide through that. So I just get the thing and I push it back in, use my teeth and cramp it back together. I say, "Hey, look, your back fix." She's like, "Wait." I say, "Yeah, it's a blind repairman."
Oh Lordy me.
So yeah, very handy.
Yeah. Yeah. Folks.
What he thinking about, what he wanted to say, I want the people to remember the I Can Connect program. The I Can Connect program helps anyone who has significant vision and hearing loss to get a free. The keyword in this is free iPhone so that they can communicate with the world and their loved ones. The I Can Connect program. You have to have significant hearing and vision loss. The number to call to find out about that is 340-692-4267. And the name of the establishment is Virgin Islands University Center for Excellence in Developmental Disabilities. The acronym VIUCEDD. VIUCED. Call them if you have those two.
George, there's somebody tell me your mic is low, so you gotta talk up into that mic.
Well, you want me to scream?
No, but I'm just saying to you that it's coming across low.
You can hear me now?
See, mine, I'm back away from mine and it's responding,
Well,
so it's an issue with that mic.
Yeah, maybe we need to dash you it. And
Yeah.
I didn't bring mine, so
Okay.
I forgot my home. So, Virgin Islands Center for Excellence in Developmental Disabilities, VIU said, they have a program called the I Can Connect program, which enables someone who have significant hearing and vision loss to get a free iPhone. The operative word in the sentence is free once you qualify.
You see how you be? You wait till I step away from the table here to go start giving away free thing. You know, but wait now. Wait. I know you have plenty of influence in these places,
You can't get it.
sir.
Anyway,
I know that you have
can't get it. So
connection.
let me finish.
I know.
773 340-692-4267. The person you'll be talking to is Miss Sharon Williams. So call her and get an appointment today if you have significant hearing and vision loss. And that program is for the young and old. So check it out if you have those two disabilities.
But Jared, I know you have connections and influence. And we know that my disability is running my mouth. So I know that you could get them to modify the requirements to put that in there so I could get one
I
too.
got duct tape for you. Forget to bring it.
You forget to bring it, okay.
Yeah.
All right, good thing. You hear, your folks, you hear why in danger of here, right? Okay.
No, I'll put you in a bag next time. I'll tell you I'm going to assist you with that disability.
Okay.
But,
You're such a helpful co-host. You know, I have to give it to you. Okay.
So you know, I want to dispel certain misconceptions with because remember earlier we were talking about the iPhone
Mm-hmm.
and accessibility. Do you know, Doug? There's an application called Tap Tap See. That's Tap Tap See, like you see it.
Mm-hmm.
This is a blind camera for the blind. Once you open up this application on your phone and you point it towards whatever, it can describe your color, your clothes, the type of clothes. Even if you want to see if I want to see what dog wearing right now, I could point the camera at him, take a picture, and he can tell me what he's wearing. Hopefully, he got clothes. You know.
Oh Lordy me. Oh Lordy me. Anyhow,
So
you ain't gotta worry about that one. Anyhow,
this is a camera for the blind. You know, this is accessibility for the blind. You know, assistive technology. A lot of people think about assistive technology as electronic stuff, but it could be something as simple as a pen to assist someone to write. That you may stick it through a ball, you know, a small rubber ball, or bind it up with a bunch of rubber bands so that they can get a better grip on the pen to write. You know, anything that you can create, purchase, or create that could help someone achieve a task is assistive technology.
yeah. Well, what I want you to maybe not next week. I believe we have someone coming in next week. Some folks from Williams Light. We're talking about some issues going on in Williams Light, I believe. Okay, and folks, we're not being partial to Williams Light. If you have issues going on in your community that you think we should be addressing, then let me know accordingly. And we'll get you sometime in here on the mic also, that's the way we operate, okay? So we try to make sure that everybody get fair access. Yeah. And what I would like to do, Jared, sometime, since we stream live, I want you to plan on being prepared to demonstrate some things about this phone and the curtain, okay? I'll get another camera set up so you won't have to do anything. You could just show them how you.
I charge for that.
You want to charge for that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I gonna check with Caledonia Communication and see if our Impress Fund have any money in it. Anyhow, but yeah.
I don't know if you have the camera of me, no, but
No.
I know. I'm just showing you. Right now, right? My screen is on, but you can't see it.
Yeah.
I could hear it, but you can't see it, right? No, if I turn off the voiceover,
Then it's just like any other phone.
yeah, the screen pop up, right?
Screen pop up, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I don't have the camera on you like that, but
Then
But,
it goes. So, but
right.
we can do. You can do that.
the moral of the story, folks, if there's a moral in the story,
Moral of the story
is that when you see someone who is representing themselves as being visually impaired and they have a phone, okay, don't go jump into conclusions that because they could use a phone that they're fronting that they're blind and they ain't really blind.
But let me tell you.
Okay.
Let me tell you about that one day. I had the full court in Sanyan. So I I got friends that will send me texts and things. Sometimes they send me like a joke or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I will laugh, to myself, and then I will text them back, you know. So I'm sitting down there eating my Subway sandwich, and I didn't know these two women watching me. I can't see anyway. But they're watching me.
You
And I'm
didn't know.
interacting with my phone.
You didn't know that you can't see, or you didn't know that they were watching you? Which
I
one?
didn't know they were watching me.
Okay.
I can't see anyway, but I didn't know they were watching me.
Okay.
But anyway, after I was finished and I got up and I was leaving, as I hit the door outside, they have a seating area outside. Told them out there, you could see, you can't see. You could see, you can't. One saying I could see, one saying you can't see, one saying I could see, one saying I can't see. So I stopped and I said, I can't see, but I could hear. I said, if you have a question, ask me directly. I say, I'm always here to educate. Okay? The woman said, oh, you can't see and you're using phone. I said, have you ever heard about technology? And have you ever heard about text to speech? She was gone. And I disconnected my earpiece and I took my phone and I said, here, listen good. And I touched the screen and I touched different stuff. And she heard the phone operating. She was like, huh? I said, yes. There are new technologies that afford someone in my position to be able to use the phone. So before you pass judgment, ask a question. I took the high road.
You took the high road.
Yes.
I am so happy that you did.
I could have tell her how she mother make her. But I heard Doug
Gerard,
voice behind me saying,
Gerard, take the high road.
Take the high road.
Okay.
Take the high road. They tell you what, take the high road. So I took the high road.
Okay.
Okay? But there are a lot of people that have this misconception that because you're using a smartphone, you're faking being blind. You know?
All right. Well,
And I could run this phone with the best of them.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have to remember that I have. Let me see. Oh my goodness! I got a meeting coming up for retirees, and I know I have the information somewhere here, so I have to find that information. And they usually meet at X the spot.
Okay.
There in
In Chocolate.
let me see, that's March 12th. Yes. Okay, and let me see. They even sent me an agenda. Is this? No, this is some other meeting here. No, that's not it. Oh, no. They're talking about Public Services Commission, the same meeting coming up on the 12th. Okay, that was just but I need to know when the next meeting for retirees is. So somebody out there listening, if you could catch me before we have to move out of here and avoid the marshals.
Yeah, before we have to investigate expeditiously.
You know? Yeah. Yeah, okay, so when is the next meeting for the government retirees here on St. Croix? Okay?
So what are you figuring
Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah, what are you trying to figure that out? You remember we used to talk about this thing called Be My Eyes?
Yes.
We spoke about it a lot back in the day. It's an application that has you can sign up for it being either blind or visually impaired, and even people that can see can sign up and be a volunteer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have used it several times and I've met one or two people from St. Croix.
Okay, but Gerard, You haven't said fundamentally what this
Yeah,
app.
I'm gonna get
Yeah,
there.
but
I'm gonna-
you're losing people, Jared.
No, I ain't
They're
losing
changing the
nobody.
channel. You
I ain't
guys.
losing nobody. But anyway, now they have a new.
I don't get okay, so what does the
No,
thing do?
No, I'm getting there. But you see, you keep running your mouth. I can bring that duct tape in.
Okay, all right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Be My Eyes is a camera assistance for the blind. So when you open up the app, it tells you call the next available volunteer. You tap on the screen and it starts a call. It connects you with a live person, whichever volunteer. If you're trying to find your earpiece are falling on the floor, you're trying to find your shoes, whatever it is you're trying to find, if you're trying to organize your pantry as a blind person, they will assist you using the camera, the back camera. They don't know who you are unless you turn the phone around and show them your face. You can't see them and they can't see you. All they see is wherever you point that camera. Okay? But I brought it up, Doug, because now with the new update to the app, they have a thing called Be My AI. Okay? Be My AI, it describes the scene. It can describe text. But if you get like how some people send flyers with text messages and so, you can identify it with Be My AI and it will describe the entire flyer, give you all the information and everything. I pointed it at my gate while I was waiting for the bus, and it described the type of gate I got. It described they have power lines above. It even described that they have a tree in the other yard, that across the street from me. Everything, I was like, wow. I was like, wow. I said they're really, making these things more accessible for people who can see. I was really impressed by it. I mean, it's really, really, really. It makes it like if you can't get a live volunteer, you can use Be My AI and just snap a picture and it describes the entire scene in front of you. Even tell me where my garbage can was located, everything. I was like, wow. I was like, okay, I was taken back by it. So now, any questions, Doug?
No, I don't have any questions. Is it okay for me to speak now, Gerald?
Yes, sir.
I don't want to to not comply with protocol here today. All right, folks, it's 10 minutes to the hour, and you have Doug Canton and Jared Evelyn here talking with you, sometimes to you and listening to you in the process. And we're here generally every Thursday, creator willing, weather willing, we're here. But I may have to join you, Jared, from afar shortly because I have to relocate to take care of some urgent business. Let's put it that way. Okay? Yes. But technology allows us to connect sometimes from afar. So who knows? Maybe while I'm away we will do the show nonetheless. But that means that you're gonna have to come in here into the studio and use your AI to tell you everything there and run the board.
Somebody said they saw my demonstration.
Okay.
So
All right.
They said the camera had me close up on FB. Where the camera got me close up on FB?
Okay, well, because currently we only have one camera for Facebook, and the reason being is technically I can hook up my cameras to the Facebook feed, but unfortunately we end up having from my system we end up having dual sound system echo problem. That makes it, we have to figure that out. So once we figure that out, then we'll have one set of cameras whenever we do this, so that
Yeah,
we
turn
can.
your mics off.
Yeah, you can turn the mics off, and you see that the challenge is there's a audio line and the mics, and the audio line might be running in parallel with what's coming in from the mics in the studio and going through the system. So it creates a problem. Okay, so like right now my camera microphones are off. We're just using the line feed.
Right.
Okay, but the line feed through HDMI, if I could figure out a way to turn off the line feed through HDMI that's coming through my export from HDMI, if I can turn off the sound there, then it means that the studio, which is going directly to Facebook, as opposed to through the other streaming system, okay, that then the mics that we're using here would go directly to Facebook without having an echo coming behind it from the other streaming system. Okay, so much for technical discussions here. You know, you see all that snow that drop over there in California.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Okay. Well, from time to time I wake up in the middle of the night, and whether it's channel 12 PBS and you catch an interesting show that's going on. For instance, there was a show about raising Liberty Square in Florida, which is a place that predominantly black people live because they were pushed off in there, and now the place where they live is a high elevation, and with global warming going on and water rising, a lot of the places in Florida are going to be underwater. They're going to disappear. So the land that is of such elevation that it won't be affected by that, all of a sudden become premium real estate. And so the what's being done to gentrify the place, to reclaim that land and force out the people who were there, so that the powers that be can take over that property in anticipation of the fact that the climate change impact is going to make other prime real estate that they didn't want them to be in the first place, right? No, it's kind of like the Osage Indians.
By that, they say that there's no such thing as climate change.
The Osage Indians. Well, we know that there is. They're not saying that anymore, Gerald. We know that there is. Even the oil producing companies who were the burning of fossil fuel is one of the prime things that causes this climate change that we have going on. Okay, have admitted that they knew all along it was going on. Okay, but climate change is something we may not think about, but all you have to do is go down to Gallows Bay and imagine if the water come up a whole nother foot, where the road gonna be or not be, and where the house gonna be or not be. You follow me? And a perfectly good house that's inundated with water around it in the soil, that is salt water, that eventually, that they're gonna have problems with their foundation too.
Yeah.
So there's a real possibility that those two roads that we take for granted, that the one on the waterfront and one and the one a little ways behind that merge together, are going to be there. In fact, all of that may be gone. Okay, but that's just looking at Gallows Bay. We also have, when you're on the south shore of the western part of the island, for instance, we have a lot of what is very low-lying land down there. Not only, and over there gets it from two ways, because one, if we ever become temperate and to where we're getting a lot of rain again, that rain comes off of the hills and flows right down into that area there. And so you're going to have water coming at you from the hills and water coming at you from the sea. There are places in North Shore Princess when we have rain like that. Okay, a lot of houses are put in jeopardy because it's low plains. So again, you're catching it from the hill, runoff, and you're catching it from the sea. And the other day when the folks for DuPont Brass were down here and I went down to Frederickstead and that water was lashing coming in. It's just a reminder that under certain circumstances Frederickstead could be inundated. More so down by the park area because the wall there on the fort, but there are times when that water coming on and lashing that wall and coming over. This thing called climate change is one of the things that people will say, well, we'll deal with it when I get here. Well, I have people already dealing with it, from those who are trying to figure out how they're going to go and repopulate on Mars, okay? To those who have the plan for gentrification as a means of recouping the very lands that they didn't want to be on before and making that into the new high-cost real estate. Okay, that's basically what's going on there. Okay, it was very, very interesting. But I mentioned the Osage Indians because the Osage Indians were on land that the Americans then, you know, they talk about immigrants now. I want to know what it was back then. Wanted that land, and they pushed the Osage Indians off into this new property that turned out to have oil that made them into billionaires. And then, because they became billionaires, they passed laws to say that every Indian that owned property and have wealth have to have a guardian who manages their property for them. And once they got that, and then the guardians started marrying the Indians, and the Indians started mysteriously dying after they got married. Okay?
Poison them out.
Poison, blow them up, shoot them, all kind of thing. All right? It's really, you know, they say man to man is so unjust. Oh Lordy me. And it's when you look at man's inhumanity to man, and we keep seeing it repeating, because of course, you know, those who fail to learn their history are most probable, some say doomed, but most probable to repeat it. Anyhow, Jared, it's that time. The marshal is here.
Just the engineer, thank you. Just the engineer.
Dangling the cuffs and say, you know, we got these, you know, no problem.
The sheriff, no, that's the sheriff.
The sheriff, okay.
The sheriff, the evacuating the town, out of the town.
Anyhow, folks, I just want to thank you for hanging in here with us, okay? And, yeah, we got a little bit of an angle here, yeah? Okay, that's okay. You could take me on an angle too, right? Okay, good. I'm still the same guy. Anyhow, I want to thank you for hanging in there with us and appreciate the talks we have when you catch me walking on the street and in the store and wherever else. Yeah, it's not a bother. It's fun. Great. Okay? So, until next time, okay? Until next time, you have Doug here on an angle saying, hey, do a random act of kindness, and if you're feeling kind of bored, do some premeditated ones, because love's in need of love all the time. Share the love. Until next time.
Find us on the World Wide Web at www.wstxradio.com. WSTX AM and FM stream all conscious reggae and Virgin Islands news, talk, calypso, and Quelbe 24/7, 365 on www.wstxradio.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. WSTX the soul of the Caribbean.
In the month of March, USDA's National Agricultural Statistics Service, with the cooperation of the U.S. Virgin Islands Department of Agriculture and University of the Virgin Islands School of Agriculture Cooperative Extension Service, will visit farmers to help them complete their Census of Agriculture questionnaire. For the Ag Census, a farm is defined as any place from which $500 or more of agricultural products were produced and sold, or normally would have been sold, in 2023. Farmers, your cooperation is required by law, as this census is the only source of comprehensive and